It's always seemed strange to me that people just accept things as they are without question. At least it seems that way. I can't do that at all. I wouldn't even try. To me, life doesn't seem worth living if your actions, no matter how small, can have some kind of positive effect on the future. And now, if you look at the South African problem, the big South African problem, which most people would agree stems from our government, there are so many problems, too many to mention. It seems overwhelming. And so people just accept it. And people will either move, leave, or just resign themselves to the fact that it's always going to be this way. I don't think it has to always be this way. I think our actions can change the future, collectively, you and me and everyone else. It doesn't have to be this way forever. What we're facing in our municipalities and in our country as a whole does not have to be this way forever. This does not have to be the norm. Things can get better. However, I am so fearful of the fact that it might be possible that people are so used to this dysfunction that it's almost a comfort. People might be too scared to look at a positive alternative because letting go of this familiar discomfort would be too anxiety-inducing. And I hope that's not the case. I hope that there's enough people that can have a proactive mindset towards the future of South Africa. But before I even start talking about the solutions that exist, there are solutions, lots of solutions, specific things that can ensure that South Africa is a flourishing country for many generations to come. Before we even get there, it's so important to know, I need to know, that there are people who are willing to look towards the future positively, not out of naivety, but out of necessity, and that there are people who are willing to take action and move beyond being a commentator online and move beyond being a complainer. Because if we are stuck in that mode of being online spectators and commentators and complainers, we're going to be doomed forever. It doesn't matter what system we exist in. If we refuse to acknowledge the gift of our own power, then we'll always have power exerted over us in any system, with any party or person in charge. It doesn't matter. And so, as I said, there are solutions. In 2018, I was 30 years old at the time, I started the Organic Humanity Movement. It was specifically registered in December, I think it was the 14th of December, 2018. And I'd been involved in politics for a few years by then. And I was so frustrated with the political system, with how it completely impedes progress, and the systemic limitations just everywhere was so frustrating. I couldn't stay any longer. It reached a point where I just couldn't continue because I didn't see a positive outcome that would benefit people. I recognized that the political system was flawed in such a way that it really affected every political party. And so it took not long for me to realize it doesn't matter what policies or what legislation is passed, the problem lies at a much deeper level. It lies within the system itself. And that is why I started the Organic Humanity Movement. The prime purpose of the Organic Humanity Movement is system change. We have put forward ideas to change the political system in South Africa, as well as the government structure, and you need both. You can read about it in our manifesto on our website, om.org.za, and I'll definitely be talking about the different aspects of it in future videos. But before we even get into the details, I think it's so important to just cover one thing, the elephant in the room, I guess, and that is the need for people who are different. I need to know that out there in the real world are people who are bold, unreasonable, difficult, people who refuse to accept things as they are, people who are courageous, people who dare to believe that their small little actions have ripple effects that can change the world for the better. I hope people like that exist out there. If if those attributes appeal to you, if you feel like you have some of those attributes, then I'd like to think you've found your political home. I say political with trepidation because I feel what we're doing is actually so much bigger than politics. Politics is just the one obstacle in the way of South Africa's potential. And so that's why I say politics with trepidation. It's more than just politics. It's a cultural change, a civilizational change almost, here in South Africa, in the Southern Hemisphere of all places. But if those attributes of being different and unreasonable appeal to you, and courageous and brave and bold, then this is your home. If you also value individual liberty above all else, as well as organic humanity, again, this is your home. By organic humanity, we basically mean preserving the opposite of the digitization of every facet of human life. I think that's something that's very much needed. No one's really talking about it in the entire world, and that's scary. There's no one truly advocating for the preservation of organic humanity. We are. So if these things appeal to you, if these things resonate with you, please say hello in the comments. Please let me know, and the many members that we have in the organic humanity movement know that there are others out there. This plan, which we'll still go into great detail on, requires the action of many individuals, not necessarily everybody, not necessarily the majority, but certainly a lot. And we need you. So if you want to be at the forefront of designing the future of South Africa, which would inevitably also, in my opinion, affect the whole world, then please join us. You can visit our website, you can sign up to our newsletter to get started, you can become a member if you want to get more involved, and take it from there. I think it's important that we move away from being passive observers and subjects to taking action in our own lives with a collective vision for South Africa. But there's no other way that we're going to change this country. There's no other way we can improve things for everybody. There's no other way we can overcome poverty and unemployment and all those things that are reality to our lives. It's going to take action from all of us. No one's coming to save you. There is no superhero. There's no quick fix or quick solution. We are the solution. And by we, I don't just mean me and Om. I mean you taking action. And Om provides the blueprint for that. So I really hope you consider commenting in the comments, saying hi, and also signing up to our newsletter and joining. It'll be great to get to know you. It'd be great if you could walk this journey with us. We need to find those that share our vision and values so that we can work together, so that we can create the future that we want, not just for ourselves, but for the many future generations to come.